roll.
Yeah, let's roll. What's up, baby? I know you missed us. We here. Don't worry. Calm down. Relax. Happy New Year. We out here. Let's go. He's a jolly fella. We're there. Jolly good. They
get the corniest songs for like New Year's. It's like they save all the good stuff for Christmas.
Yeah, all that shit's like, and you just supposed to be drunk with friends swaying, but that doesn't work when you fall asleep at 10:30 at night.
Like it's amazing to me. Like I think that we're getting to the age where like at least half of our friends are just already asleep before midnight to do all the shenanigans and make bad decisions. And it's like, like you want to have fun, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, everybody's like already in bed. And it's like, are we washed? But nonetheless, we are here.
I did a dry January. I didn't want to drink and then at midnight stop drinking and just deal with a hangover while also not looking forward to, I just didn't want to deal with it. So I didn't drink and I stayed home.
You're responsible. You had responsibilities.
I fell asleep at 10:30 because that's normally what time I pass out. I didn't do anything differently, so my body did what it normally does. That's great.
No, I was definitely up, but I just wasn't out. Like I went out. Well, I stepped out momentarily, and then about 11:45, I was like, you know what? I'm going home. So I picked up some Waffle House and kicked it on back to the house, and I think watched
true Atlanta fashion.
I think I watched old episodes of NWA Crockett. Actually, no, it was actually I'll tell you exactly what it was. And it was like they had clips spliced of promos in the Dusty versus Flair rivalry, like I think like 85, I believe, and like it was actually pretty good. And I think I watched that one and like Midnight Express versus Tully and Arn, like stuff like that. But like I said, that's the stuff that had me up until like 3:30 in the morning. But hey, no regrets. What's good? It's like it's been a while. What's happening? Did you freeze? I think you froze, y'all. He has a very stoic face, at least that much. There we go.
Oh man, I guess that's good. Yeah, man. I did not miss this terrible internet. Goodness gracious.
I mean, it's not our fault you record like 19 shows a week, man.
Yeah, that's probably not great for my internet, and then all the downloading and uploading and
say, dog, give us a break, man. Shit.
I do like, yeah, that's a good point. Hey, wow, welcome. I'm Crunk Chocolate. This is Greggo, my show bro, wrestling guy. We are here. It's 2025, like we have been talking about, and there's so much rest. Speaking of 2025, Netflix.
Yeah, okay. we are finally on the air. I've already seen people. First of all, I need people to just fucking calm down for like 3 minutes and just understand everything's not going to load up all at one time. Like y'all want like all the past episodes of everything to all come through like right at midnight. Like
get off of Peacock, put it on Netflix.
Like calm it down
right now.
Calm it down. Calm your tits. Like, I mean, like, because it's funny because of course you have Netflix with WWE, you have Max with AEW.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about it in a little bit, but like I actually took a dive into it the very first episode of Dynamite back in 2019. Needless to say, the energy is a bit different from then to now, but yeah, like I said, we're in a new world now.
A block, we are not doing that. You know who we are giving A block? The New Day, and don't play their music anymore.
Don't play it. I mean, it's actually kind of like it's funny because obviously, like at the start of every of the New Day entrance is whose voice?
Oh, that's a great point. Oh,
Like just off rip, they have to record a new cut of that because you already cut out Big E. So
do you think
why are we still gonna? I mean, they should. I mean, like whenever you turn babyface or heel, I feel like you should be switching up your stuff anyway. And I think in the New Day's case, you're undergoing such a drastic change from what you've been known to do for the last decade that you probably need to get it right. Mind you, it is January 1st now, so that Def Rebel contract is done, and so they can go ahead and I guess go get their music elsewhere, like the Judgment Day did, and like I said, I'm looking forward to what they bring.
What are your thoughts on that? Let's just tangent all over the place.
I didn't hate it. I feel like it's better than I saw this thing actually a little while ago about LeAngelo Ball, Lonzo Ball's brother, the one that did make the NBA. He's trying to rap now, and they said it was so bad that it looks like that it actually sounded like it was a WWE entrance music. And I was like, first of all, some songs are actually pretty good.
Yes,
that song was trash.
Oh man, that sucks.
But no, I thought it was decent. I think that obviously we're at a point now where we're pretty much all the original members of Judgment Day are gone. Edge, Rhea, and Damian Priest. So you can officially cut out all the gothic vampire stuff from where things were now. So you basically can you can update it to what is working now for who's in the group now. So I don't mind it. I say roll with it. Change is necessary sometimes. So let's get it.
Wait, he dropped another song?
Who?
LeAngelo Ball?
I don't keep up with the balls like that. I keep up with my balls, and that's it.
I looked him up real quick because I have never heard it, and I was going to listen to it. But then there was one on YouTube that was 3 hours ago, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah." I say it just dropped. So
okay, so it was that one. Okay,
yeah. I'm like whoever thought first of all,
there's money spent on it.
You're the ball who couldn't ball, and now you're the ball who couldn't rap. So pick a struggle, please.
Back to New Day. Okay, so Mama got disappointed at him.
Yo.
My favorite part, it wasn't even so she talks, but she also does the eh.
You know what? The funny thing there is she has grown so much because she I don't know if you realize this, but she's the reason why Kofi had to drop his Jamaican accent, and because she exposed him on a radio interview, something like that, unintentionally, mind you, but it was something like, wait a minute, I thought he was Jamaican. No, he's African.
Yeah, it was her buying into it, and everyone. I do not like that some Stereo and LWO have gotten into this. That kind of stinks.
I mean,
unless
I like the role that Ray has, but it's when you start bringing in the rest of the guys, it's
the dude with the hat, and then he was wearing glasses. I was like, that's not a fucking wrestler, bro. What are we doing? That's not a wrestler.
Is that the one that's not even Latino? So he's Filipino. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
he wasn't even in the shot. All you could see is the hat and the frame of his glasses in the shot.
That cool Mo D hat. Yeah,
I was like, what? Why is he there? If you're not even in, what are we doing?
You're not even in the shot, bro.
No,
I mean, like I said, when it's Ray, it's cool. When it's Zelina, it's cool.
Yes.
Everybody else, including what's his face? I don't even know his name. With the other guy with the mask, because he looks like a copycat Ray. It's so bad that they're not even including him in the match next week because Ray has a mystery partner, which allegedly, it'll be my guy Penta coming over from AEW. Because they've been doing the teasers the past few weeks with the Zero, and then on Monday they had like a full image as far as like what the Zero leads to. It's got like the pieces from his mask. I'm like, okay. So like I said, we'll see how this goes. Of course, it was supposed to be Penta and his brother Ray Phoenix, but Ray is still stuck to the elite mothership for I guess another 9 months or so.
9 months.
Yeah, it's because like, of course,
I knew it was injury time, but I didn't know
that's the thing. Like, apparently, it's not injury time, but they're using that as why his stuff got held on. So, like, I guess at some point we'll get that story, but in the meantime, it's just Penta on his own by himself, or I guess as another member of the LWO, as if they don't need more members. So, yeah.
Is he a face or a heel?
I guess he'll be a face at least initially. So I guess we'll see.
I hope he's a heel and then help turns Ray. I want Ray to turn on them, and then I want Zelina to join them.
You know what though? I don't want Ray to turn, only because I feel like he doesn't deserve it. Because like for all the times everybody's turned on him, it's like they turned on you for a reason, dog. Because you whack.
I didn't think you were gonna go that way.
Kid, I love Ray, but yeah, but you can't be a heel. You can't be a heel.
Tell him, man, that's not okay. It's Rey Mysterio.
Exactly. That's why you can't turn heel. But yeah, like
no, exactly. I regretted it the moment I said it. Oh man. Okay. Where should we go from here? Actually, I know exactly where we can go, so we can get this over with. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Like who wins? I don't even want to really dive into. Oh, okay. Actually, what I want to say is I'm actually here for Raquel Rodriguez getting. This is her little like. She's getting her sexy on since she's joined Liv, because that's like Liv's thing, is being a little like sexy thing, and I've never seen Raquel as sexy. I mean, I guess it's because she's always showing her muscular back.
Well, but she hasn't been doing that as much anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But like she's been embracing the whole like, you know, sexy chica type of thing. It's like, is she gonna steal Dom from Liv? Like, I don't know.
I've been hearing that, and I do feel like it would make sense for Dom to leave Liv for somebody else. I don't know if that person is Liv, but I do feel it will be somebody. It might be one of these chicas down in NXT. Actually, now that you think about it, you know who it should be? It should be Lola Vice. Well, that would just be like pie in the sky type of stuff. But I could see.
How long is this whole Dominic Mysterio just gonna go from female to female?
You know what? As long as he got that baby face, and he looks like 17 without his mustache, as long as he looks like that, he can milk that shit for years. And then whenever he gets to the WWE Hall of Fame, all the girlfriends got to induct him. Boom. Boom.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, well, who wins? Is this when Rhea gets her belt back, or do you double down and keep it with Liv?
So the safe bet would be is finally going to go back to Rhea, because we're going into WrestleMania season. The Rumbles in like a little over a month from now, because now it's like the first week in February now, and I see. Like, so, here's my thing. Here's my thing. Follow me here.
Okay.
I see a scenario because like I don't know if you've seen like the promos for Raw on Netflix, but like there's a certain somebody who hasn't been around for a while who's in those promos, and I would say that there could be a scenario where Miss Lynch might work herself back in there. Of course, mind you, we're still waiting for Charlotte to come back through as well. So I'm like, do we want to go ahead and just go ahead and find a way for those people to possibly get the belt and they go after Rhea, or do we just go ahead and just say, you know what, bump it? Rhea's our ace right now, so it's got to be hers. But if I had to play it safe, I would definitely say that it should be Rhea.
Charlotte Flair is cooling, bro. Like, yeah, she's wrestling, but she's enjoying not wrestling. She's
been working out. Like at this point, she's good. She's ready to go. It's just a matter of finding the right point to insert her back in. Like I honestly, I thought that she was going to come back at Saturday night's main event, which we do need to talk about as well.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
Did anything happen?
Yeah, with KO and Cody. Yeah, absolutely. But I will say that, yeah, I thought that Charlotte was going to come back then. It's like after the U.S. title match with that Chelsea Green won, but still hasn't happened yet, and we're still kind of waiting on when.
What they can do, and what I hope they do, is they somehow bring back the Man, and she does her thing, and then immediately Charlotte comes right after her. Because could you
steals that thunder?
Yeah, could you imagine the pop? Like that would be.
I can see that.
I would fucking mind. I can see let's go. Mark out, bro.
And of course, like we're getting Michael Cole and McAfee back next week. So yeah, it'll definitely be McAfee like overdoing it and be like, oh my god, getting on the table and everything and all that jazz. But we'll see
for that, because he's been doing a lot of laying around and when all the potting and stuff that he does. He's pretty physical with how he does his comedy for WWE. So hopefully he's got in shape. Because I don't think
I see. Like it's funny because he did Saturday Night's Main Event. And it reminded me why I liked him on SmackDown versus why he kind of wore on me on Raw. And like, you need smaller doses of McAfee. Like, I feel like 3 hours is too much. 2 hours is just right. It's like you've got enough of him to where it's like he hasn't just bugged you to death. In 2 hours, you're done. Now that everything's about to go to 3 hours, I'm like, all right, man, like we got to figure something out. Because by like 10-15, you're like, all right, dog, shut the fuck up.
I'm with you. Okay. Hold on. Let's go back to New Day. They end up lifting a title after this run, right?
I think so. But of course, my thing is like, given the way they kind of punked out it doesn't feel right if he doesn't get some type of payback, and I think that payback would have to involve him getting in the ring. Like, I don't want him to get a surrogate, saying like, "Hey, I'm fighting on behalf of Big E." Like, Big E is a big boy and they need to be able to handle his stuff on his own course. Granted, with the whole Nick situation, we don't know how that might turn or if that's on the way of turning around. But if it's anywhere in the near future, or actually, I'll take a step back, because I feel like Kofi and Woods can stretch this out for a little bit. If by this time next year, Big E isn't in a place where he can possibly come back, I think it would absolutely go absolutely insane. But of course, it has to be him. And you know who else? Like, because it's obviously you're dealing with a tag team here, he needs a tag team partner of his own. And because of his current relationship situation, you know who would be really good in that situation? His girlfriend's sister's husband by the name of Keith Lee. I don't know if he's even going to be available by then, but if he is, I'd love to see that. More big meaty men tagging instead of slapping meat.
I love the idea of Big E back, but I'm sorry. The last time I saw him, I watched him turn, and he has to like hold like this. He's like Otis. He moves like
That's what happens when you get them thick neck folks, man. Like
thick neck and a symmetrically repaired one, like on top of it, like he legit just like he's so wide, and for how like animated and all the things that he did, I don't know how
it's probably like I said, we're probably in a space where like either he's going to get cleared and he's going to be able to do what he can do, or it's just not going to work out. I don't think there's really going to be an in between, and I don't think that they're going to put him in a position where, obviously, if there's any type of risk, they're probably not going to take it. Like it's going to be like you're going to have to be cleared.
I'm stressed.
That's the only way. There's no waivers, nothing like that. It's like either you are cleared or you are not going out there. So, because you saw like even in that breakup, like they didn't put hands on him for a reason. They're like, no, we can't do it.
Good. Okay. Well. Okay. Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso.
So of course, in the bigger picture of everything that's been going on, I guess from Survivor Series on to current day, I feel like something is cooking where you have to put KO, Drew, and Seth together because they all have a common hatred in the bloodline, and I feel like it would make sense for them to unite in some way. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know how that's gonna necessarily set up because right now, KO's on SmackDown, and at least at the moment, we have Seth and Drew on Raw. Of course, they do have this supposed transfer window, which not nice on them to use the soccer terms, but if they could all manage to go on the same show, then there could be something there. But I don't think that they will. But who knows?
Well, they would all have to end up on SmackDown, obviously, in order to be fighting.
Well,
or they'd have to be champions on Raw in order to realistically hop wherever they want to, because
that's the thing.
Have already established that they have their own shows and they aren't welcome. Like other guests can't just hop over here and do.
But that's why you have the transfer window, because you're able to make those moves and
that's what I said. Then they'll all have to be on SmackDown.
Well, it all depends on because of course if the main
not moving to Raw.
You sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure Roman's going over to Raw.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Now, granted, like I said, right now we're about to go into WrestleMania season. So personally, I think there's going to be a lot of bouncing back and forth between now and WrestleMania. But I do believe we will be seeing a good bit of Mr. Romy Rome on Raw.
Well, and the way that it works is if you draft the bloodline, you get all of them.
Yeah.
So they would just be the first pick, which duh.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be a draft, like I said, a transfer window. So it's like I guess you got to spend £5 million.
How long is this gonna last? Oh, I guess.
Well, that's the thing. Like I don't because like if you're doing a transfer window now, that means that you don't really need to do the draft like as soon as like right after WrestleMania. Like you probably wait until like probably June, like when the real transfer window starts.
Until June.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what you would have it like. I mean,
like right now, when is this current transfer window close? It has to close soon.
I guess so. I guess like probably the Rumble. I guess I don't know. It's like it of course they're using this as a way to start bouncing people around because of the Netflix situation. But
into January, that's fair. That works.
Yeah, so like but I would say by the Rumble. But again, I think that from now until basically Mania, you're definitely going to see at least the top guys bouncing back and forth because I think between Cena, Roman, Cody, KO, Seth, Punk, Drew, Jay, dude, like it's about to be the most loaded main event picture in a long fucking time. Because Cena's coming back next week, and he's coming. They already said like he's working full time from now until I think it's like January. I think it's December 29th, I believe, is his last his last ever show. So, integrating him and back into the mix, integrating. If The Rock does show back up, that's another one. It's like dog. It's nonstop right now.
That's why it needs to be 3 hours.
Actually, as much as I've bitched about it, I do think that they're at a point where they actually do need 3 hours for at least one show. Now, of course, they're moving both Raw and SmackDown in 3 hours, and I'm just like, dog. I don't know about you. I at least want to pretend like I have a life, and the idea of 3 hours on a Friday night, I don't know about that one, dog. But we'll see how they.
Friday night is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, like if it was Thursday, Wednesday, okay. Friday night, like, all right, man. Like, because especially like on those nights, on those weekends where you're gonna have a PLE and those are gonna be 3 hours as well, or 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I know I like wrestling, but damn, like, please let me get out.
And if it's on Netflix, at least it's rewatchable.
Well, SmackDown would be 3 hours. And
I'm saying like at least it's rewatchable on Raw. So like even if whatever, but it's not like you have to watch it live on USA unless you have Hulu live TV. And
well, that means like, of course, depending on what else you got going on. I'm like, dog. Like I said, I just want to. I want to watch myself. I just want to watch my stuff and actually have the rest of my day to do something.
Yeah, that's 3 hours, and then all the ads and shit. It's just like, bro, it's a lot. And especially 3 hours, 3 hours, bro.
That's 3 hours on a Friday night. They get 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday night, and then you gotta go right back on Monday. That's back to 3 hours. I'm like, yo, like, what if I had a girlfriend? What if? They were like, why are you watching all this wrestling? You know it's not real. It's like, leave me alone. God.
No, bro, I'm not. I'm in no rush to watch on Mondays now that it's going to be on Netflix, like at all. Like we ain't doing that. Like especially if there's ads on already. If there's good, I mean, I'm going to watch them because I want to participate and stuff like that. But if I have something else I have to do, I'm going to do it because I can just watch it later.
Well, I will say that the thing that I feel like they're finally going to be getting right. I do feel like the replay value, because like while it's been on USA, I think like because of like how they had it between Hulu and Peacock, is like it usually took us about 2 or 3 weeks before that. Like let's say last Monday's episode would finally be available online to watch. I feel like Netflix would be like, hey, we're going. It's back. It's back available. So
we need that. Yeah.
I'll just say that I'll definitely be watching obviously on Monday because I do want to see the Netflix presentation and just how that turns out. But after that, who knows? Like I feel like we'll actually finally have a little bit of flexibility. Like, you know, if I happen to fall asleep at a 10:30 like certain people, I might be able to watch it the next day, and it's not a problem.
But if I do fall asleep and I don't see the last 30 minutes,
it's okay. It's not the end of the world.
And sometimes what I do is I'll just fall asleep for 30 minutes, 45 minutes and then wake up and be wide ass awake and go and do some stuff for a couple hours and then go back to bed.
Yeah.
So it's my body does not love me. So
it likes you. It likes you as a friend only. It likes you as a friend.
So sometimes if I just have to get a little bit of work done in the middle of the night for real quick, or just be a brain dead zombie. I just don't like the rolling back and forth. So if I just get too antsy, I'm like, all right, obviously my body's like, you got to do something. So I'm going to do something.
You get like, I don't know if you happen to see like a lot of these clips that have been going out while WWE has been on their holiday tour. Like they're clearly having like the time of their lives right now. Like things in the locker room must be absolutely incredible because like you got you got Punk coming out in a towel the fight Judgment Day. You got Nia talk about sucking and swallowing. You got all these twerk videos. I'm like, y'all are having a ball right now. Like I can only imagine like how it is right now in the locker room
because it's not attitude era because that is now.
Yeah.
So none of it is like too much.
I think that they're in a space right now where like obviously they're putting on a pretty good to great product right now, and it's not a case of like where they have to be at each other's throats to put out that best product available. Like it's like the stress is just not there. And of course, obviously there's the change at the top probably helps us out a whole lot because one, you're actually able to take time off over the holidays. Like a lot of their Christmas episodes they did like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So like they were able to actually go home for Christmas, spend time with their families, and then come back on the road and do their thing. And like that counts for a whole lot as far as just your overall well-being, your overall quality of life. And I'm sure they're like, hey, if they're able to give me this little bit of time to be with my friends and family, once I'm on the road, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and give them everything I got. And like that's I can only imagine that's only makes the product even better.
1,000%. All right. Speaking of Punk.
Yeah, speaking of the heat, speaking of the fire, Punk and Seth freaking Rollins.
You're on Team CM Punk, I already know.
Yeah, somebody's got to represent the Midwest, unlike some people. Well, actually, that's right. You're Seth's home state, so I guess
I literally live in the same area he does. So when he's from Davenport, Iowa, that is the city I live.
That's where we live.
That's me. I live
there. But no, they finally had their face to face on Monday. It seemed like it's been like over a year in the making with them because like having to deal with injuries and run-ins and everything. They took the gloves off and like they went to work on each other. Like
they did.
No Diddy. Like it's like they talked about Punk not having kids. They talked about Becky taking her ball and going home. They talked about they brought the old man into the mix. Talking about like that was Seth's boy. I'm like that was his boy. Like, oh wow, like they went there and I fucking love it.
I know. You don't, I mean, it's like a respectful hate. Like, well, and even Seth was like, bro, he did come out. You're not the big bro anymore. I am. You left. It's now, it was just like, I hate you. You're a fucking coward. And now it's like, it actually hurt me that you left. And so now because of that, it's fuck you season. And which I'm here for.
There's one part to all this that I do feel like they haven't quite dug into all the way. And I mean, obviously, those of us that kind of keep our ears on social media, if not watch AEW directly, we know what happened with Punk and AEW and how that all went to shit. At the same time, we really haven't gotten the discussion as far as like why did he come back? Because I feel like there is a grain of truth to what Seth was saying as far as like why after everything that was said, especially while Punk was in AEW, because he literally said like, hey, the WWE made him sick. There was no way he could come back because they made him sick. He trashed him about not being able to own the Ring of Honor tapes when Tony bought out AEW. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he said. It was like, you said all this stuff, and I think that's why, like, when he first came back, he was talking about he was home. It's like, you said a lot of shit about this place. Now you talk about his home, and of course, I think the conversation that would probably need to be had there, if they were able to be honest, so to speak, would probably give too much light onto AEW than they probably want to give. But at the same time, it's like the easy scenario would just be like, hey, I was out there in the world enjoying life, and then I realized, you know what? Sometimes the grass ain't always green on the other side. And you realize that, yeah, some people cannot manage a target in Reseda, and you got to go back to where the big boys play and head on back to WWE. And I think that obviously, given how things have changed, especially at the top, it made it easier to come back. But of course, how they word it in their own Punk speak or whatever, it'll probably come out a lot more sharper and all that stuff. But the conversation is there.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the way that it's going. Naturally, I got Seth. And truly, there's a coffee shop that they helped a guy start, and you'll legitimately go in there sometimes, and yeah, they'll just be ordering their drinks. They get espresso. It's like a trio, so it's like espresso, cortado, and they'll just be sitting on the couch, sipping it, just having like polite conversation. Everybody gives them their space. And
you know, I think I told y'all like I think early on back when we started the podcast, I ran into them one weekend. They were out at Piedmont Park, and like it was him, Becky, Rue, all three of them, and
oh, that's cool.
And obviously, especially because they had their daughter, I was like, I'm a just not fan out and everything. But one, you don't really think about it, but like, you know, like how they try to say like TV ads or takes away like 15, 20 pounds. Like, Seth is a big dude in person.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it gets proper credit on TV because that's a big dude.
Yeah,
he's a big dude.
Yeah. No,
and Becky is too. It's more in a wiry way, but it's still there. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know people were talking about like when she first came back, she looked all thin. I'm like, no. When you see her in person, the muscle is there. It's just wiry as shit.
Yeah, she'll knock a motherfucker out. There's a reason why she is where she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can only imagine how Bianca looks in person, but that's a whole different story.
Hey, ain't getting me beat up. KO versus Cody.
Yes. First of all, I need to take a step back and just really give a shout out to them bringing back Saturday Night's Main Event. I could go into a whole rabbit hole as far as just the core memories in my life when I was a kid in the original run of Saturday Night's Main Event, and like when I tell you I geeked out so hard just by them saying Saturday Night Live will not be tonight, so we can give you this special presentation. I was like, oh my God, they're doing it. And and you know, the retro intro, obviously having the like the whole setup in the arena. I was like,
Yeah.
the narrow aisle,
Uh-huh.
the red, white, and blue ropes. Like, I'll say this: Jesse got a little detoured when he was out there on the interview stand, but he still got his fastball when he was doing commentary at the end of the show.
Yes,
he still got his fastball.
He was wilding.
but yeah, like the presentation, I was like, oh my god, this is absolutely great, and it felt different from what they normally give on Raw and SmackDown, the pay-per-view. So hopefully they keep that for future shows. I know like they have another one in like what, I guess a little over 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Cody and KO, obviously like the way they've been building up this angle going back from Bad Blood when it was here in Atlanta, like it's really been like well done. And like even after the result from Saturday Night's Main Event and Cody winning, just like having the yeah, and that's the thing about Jesse, like him being the one to point that shit out and be like, he's cheating, he's using the chair, like he's not that goody two shoes that you think he is. Like, dog, like you realize why so many people were ultimately having to copy him from back in the day. Like he's like I said again, he still has his fastball. It fucking works. But and especially like what they've done with Cody since then, it's like you're starting to see. It seemed like the wires starting to get a little frayed with Cody. He's getting a little angry and everything. You're about to start seeing the lasers shooting out the eyes and everything. I'm just saying, but yeah, like have like cutting the work after the show with the package power driver. Like clearly, you're. I was a little surprised that they had him come back so soon, but I guess obviously because you're about to start up Netflix, like he's got to be there for that.
Netflix.
Like if it wasn't for that, I'd be like, you know what, y'all could have held him out another two maybe 3 weeks, but it is what it is. But all in all, like I love where this is going. I can only assume that KO has signed a new deal because they've already scheduled the match for Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
and which I think would actually be beyond when his deal would have expired. So
I feel like that was like a soft announcement.
Yeah, and so we got a ladder match there, and of course it's funny because Cody brought out the winged eagle, and of course the funny thing about there is that why do they call it the winged eagle? Like as if eagles don't always have wings. I forgot who pointed it out, but I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of obvious, but whatever. But but KO's been carrying around as if it's his own belt, like his basically like his FTW belt. For those of y'all with AEW and ECW history and everything, but basically they'll be using that belt, the main unified belt, and basically hold that up for the ladder match. And like I said, I don't think they're going to be bringing this back full time. At least I don't think so. It'll be interesting to see like how, I guess after that ladder match, like how if it's used at all going forward. But it was nice to see. It was nice to see.
I just love.
It's not my favorite, but you know it was nice to see.
I love that technically the WWE is acknowledging that KO is correct, but they know Cody Rhodes is their money man, and he'll whine and cry and throw a temper tantrum. So they're like, you have the real belt. Here's your winged eagle. You little cheating ass motherfucker.
Sure, it's your belt. Sure.
Yeah. Like so now KO is gonna handle business, and I think he's gonna win before obviously Cody Rhodes is gonna come in and cheat and have a ref behind him and win somehow. I don't know how he's gonna figure it out.
So check it. Like I was debating that I think last week, and I was like, you know what? He actually probably should have won at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah,
he probably should have won. and then you could have still had the ladder match, and at the Royal Rumble, and that's where Cody wins it back. But and actually, yeah, you could have had KO win it. He would have said, "I don't want that big gold thing. I want the wing eagle," and he would have been walking around with that. And then once Cody comes back, he was like, "Hey, I had this title. This title was mine." And then that's how you end up setting up the ladder match. But yeah, yeah, like I feel like having KO win at the Royal Rumble, that feels like a little too late in the game, especially going into Mania. But yeah, it should have happened at during the match at the Saturday Night's Main Event.
Okay. Well, we got a few weeks before that.
So yeah, actually, like
fold. I'm sure
that we're going to get a good deal of KO and Cody going like the next few weeks. I say again, like because not only are you setting up the Rumble, but the week before is again the next Saturday Night's Main Event. So like we got to figure out like what's probably going to be set up on that show going into the Rumble, and I think there's probably like one more Saturday Night's Main Event before Mania. So
yes, I think
but you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going to start becoming very clear, starting with the first show on Netflix, and then going from there. This month here is going to be fucking huge. Like,
yeah,
absolutely gigantic.
Yeah,
because like again, like we got Cena coming back on Monday, and here's the thing, because like I'm gonna ask you this question.
Okay.
Would you rather have Cena go after number 17, or there's something else that he has yet to do? He could win the Intercontinental Championship and finally become a Grand Slam winner.
I'd much rather that. That feels more like feasible. I don't think, like, respectfully, like I do not want to see him against Drew McIntyre unless he loses, unless Drew McIntyre demolishes him, because I want to see Drew McIntyre be the one to like face Roman whenever he gets his belt back. Like Drew McIntyre, that's obviously what he's doing with fighting Jay, and then he'll beat down Jimmy, and then probably beat up Solo, and then take on Roman.
I can see that later on in the year, but yeah, I can see that.
Well, I mean that's definitely to go through all those people. That's 8 months worth of time. They'll be able to milk that. That could be SummerSlam or something like that.
But I do feel like this was far as Cena goes, because obviously like since the pandemic, every time Cena has come back, he's pretty much lost.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's been against Bray, whether it's been against Roman, whether it's even been against Solo, like he's or Austin Theory, it's always been losses. So you can't come back and suddenly be like the John Cena of 2011.
No, that's not believable, and everybody hated that guy. By the time he left,
because like I feel like because it'd be like, okay, like we're just erasing the fact that you've sucked the past few years, technically, and you're supposed to be like back this old guy. I'm like, no, like I feel like that there is an avenue where you could possibly build him back up, but in building him back up, you still need to acknowledge that, yeah, past couple of years, my heart's hasn't quite been in it. It kind of sucked. I gotta, get my old thing back, basically, and it's going to involve probably losing a few matches the first month or so, but then suddenly he's going to get hot, and I don't, because like I know there's been talk about him facing Cody at Mania. I actually think that the big match for him should be at SummerSlam.
I like the idea of him actually have him win the Intercontinental, make that quickly, have him come through, knock down people, win the Intercontinental. He then realizes he can get it, he relinquishes it, and then makes his run towards the World Championship, but then loses.
Yeah, like he definitely has to lose. Like he has to get hot, and he has to get really close to winning the world title.
Everybody really think it's gonna happen, and then yeah. But it's like, who will be the champion at that? And that's why that could be Drew too. Drew could take out Roman. Drew doing this to John Cena. I feel like that would be finally his comeuppance, like in a positive way. Sorry, comeuppance is like once you screw around or whatever. Like that, like after him like consistently losing his title immediately and being the champion and then taking out John Cena. Could you? And already he's been killer with the promos. And could you imagine if he's the one who takes out John Cena, especially before his reign is over? Like he just knocks him out for like a month or two. I love that.
I see.
All this booking for people.
I can see Cody.
I'm sorry.
I guess I could really see Drew. I mean, we've already done Roman and Cena, but I feel like there's probably still at least a little bit more meat on the bone. But I do feel like Cody and Drew, they'll be big players in this final run for Cena this year. I do see that. And again, like, of course, the wild card in all this is, what if Mr. Johnson decides to be like, you know what? Hey, I'm free. What's up? I want to get some shine too.
He's definitely free. All of his movies bombing, like freaking Prime. I did not watch that movie even when it became on Prime. Sorry, sir. I'm not doing it.
You're not doing Red One. You're not doing the Santa movie.
No.
But I again, like, as long as, like, you have to at least acknowledge what's been happening the past few years. Like, as long as you at least do that and work that into the creative for Cena,
that's fair.
That's where, because I don't think anybody's gonna just buy suddenly. It's like, oh snap, Super Cena's back. I'm like, no. Like, you can grow back into Super Cena, but it can't be like right straight from like January 6th. Like, that could happen.
He comes in, obviously, first fight, Mello. He beats Mello, but that's a great chance for him.
Why everybody got to beat Mello?
Because that's
he's so beatable right now. He's so beatable right now.
Well, and that's kind of what it is. He has to get his L's in because he's so cocky, but it's building his character for when he eventually becomes that dude. Of course, he has that confidence and
that chip on his shoulder.
But who is he losing to? It's not like he's losing to like nobody. He's losing to like solid wrestlers. Like, he's fighting Cody and losing. Like, he's fighting these good people.
Yeah. How they do his creative and balance it out between everything else that they're doing right now is going to be very telling, because obviously there's going to be a lot of money in, just the promotion of Cena's farewell tour. Like, they just dropped the commemorative belt on WWE Shop, and which I'm like, oh my god, we just spent money for Christmas, y'all. Like, yeah,
okay.
But
and half of those people who are big into wrestling, they home, they got that money. They don't have a bunch of kids they're spending that money on. Sorry, I'm not doing that.
What if they had kids? Like, I'm this is for me.
I know there are people.
Treat yourself.
I'm gonna say is the person that I know is the number one fan around my area. He's fucking crazy. I've known him ever since like middle school, and that's all he's ever talked about is wrestling. He has a family, but he like takes his kids there, and they go to the pre-show events and do all the like meet and greets. He does all that stuff. Like, he spends like, I don't know how he like
don't you have a job? Why are you here at 11 o'clock on a Monday for a meet and greet?
Bro, like, those aren't cheap. So it's like, how do you
it's not even so much cheap, it's just time involved, because like, you gotta think about like everybody that's in line.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
Like, this is not a lunch break type of deal. Like you waiting to take a picture, and it's taking you like an hour and a half.
Right, you use your PTO for that day.
I hope if you have PTO.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
Like you, if you ain't here, you don't get paid. You a contractor, B.
But yeah, if you're smart, use that PTO for things like that.
But
if you're not going to vacation, because I know so many people who do not use PTO for vacation, so at least use it for
they use it for bad decisions. I understand, and more power to you.
Right.
But it's gonna be an interesting time, guys. You got Roman, you got Solo, you got Cena, you got Punk, you got Orton, that still has to come back. KO, Drew, Seth,
the man in Charlotte,
Bianca. Like, and I don't know if you've seen the post, because Jade's been posting on Instagram, and the way that she's posting, I'm actually kind of like, I think this just might be Bianca and Naomi who did this, because it's her all bloodied up and all by herself, and like, if you looking like that, wouldn't your friends come and get you and make sure that you're good? I'm just saying. But how that unfolds in the next few weeks, or I guess by the Rumble, should be very, very telling, because now we got Bianca and Naomi as the tag team champs, and without much of a fuss. It seems very neat and convenient. So maybe there's a story to be told as far as why Jade is out here, all to her lonesome, all beat up and everything, and Bianca and Naomi are acting like everything's cool. And like, oh yeah, and of course Bianca's like, it sounds so manicured right now. It's like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna get what who attacked Jade. We're totally gonna do it. Totally.
Once we find out who it is, they're in so much trouble.
Yeah. We're gonna get them. Oh yeah.
Oh, Solo. He's losing that Ulafala.
I love you, Solo.
Solo, I love you, man. He's gonna lose though. He's losing definitely. And
I don't think it's gonna be a clean win, but I do think Solo will win. I think, again, the wild card here is if Mr. Johnson shows back up. If he does, I think this is where he makes his declaration that, there's actually somebody above Solo, and the title I often use is the High Chief, the title that his grandfather had. And he'd be like, this is actually my blood right. I am the High Chief. I stand above all y'all bitches, and you got to go through me. And if that happens, I think that's how Solo wins. But of course, through that, he'll actually give the Ulafala to Mr. Dwayne. And,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay, cool. Yeah,
and
taking it to him.
And that'll set
Solo
up.
Solo's actually being the lackey.
I don't know about so much the lackey, but like, of course, especially because obviously Rock is not going to be there every week, so basically he would be like the unofficial messenger, be like, the High Chief says blah 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 blah, and of course that I do think that that's eventually going to become a thing in itself, as far as Solo having an answer to Rock. But I also feel like that'll also, like, in my own master book and everything, this is where Solo breaks away, but it also is how Jacob becomes the real threat, because nobody wants to fuck with him.
No, not at all.
And I think that, like, right now, they're the way it was phrased, that he's being held back, but not in a bad way. It's just like, hey, it ain't time yet. Hang on. And then they're gonna come that moment, and then that's gonna be like, oh, y'all don't let something out here on the streets now. It's just trouble for everybody.
Yeah, we know he can go, but that's the thing. He's almost like too powerful. Like
that's something like that. That's going to play into it. It's going to be like, hey, we thought Roman was powerful. We thought Solo was powerful. The one you really don't want to fuck with is this mug over here, Jacob Fatu, and having to.
He's wild, but I do not see that man holding the title.
I do, but it's just a matter of, again, how do you once you get it on him, and given how honestly talented he is in the ring, it's like, how do you ultimately get the belt off of him? It's because like it's not like he's a giant or whatever, but at the same time, like he's just that dynamic in the ring that you're really gonna have to be creative as far as how you get that belt off of him.
I just don't see walking with the title. Like he's gonna need somebody to like carry it. He's gonna need like
I think the way that they're gonna set it up, like I said, in my master Heyman mind, I think that there'll come a point where Jacob becomes even too much for Rock to handle, and it'll be what turns Rock babyface, and then you basically have the family reunite as one whole, trying to take down Solo, and I guess probably Tama, and if by chance by then you might have a guy like Zilla, who's a Maga's son, and he comes in the mix, and that turns, like I said, like there's enough family members to where really they could go about a few more years. Like this is why Heyman was saying like, yeah, we're just in the middle of the third. I'm like, they've been fucking way too much. They got way too many family members who are wrestling, and it's nuts. But I do see a scenario where Jacob does become champion, and this is how they ultimately turn Rock babyface in that, and like I said, we'll see how this finally concludes as the bloodline turns.
Oh, okay. Well, any other topics?
Yeah. I actually have some positive.
Yes,
I have some positive AEW news, because of course, again, it is New Year's Day, so that means it's the start of their new contract. They have they just aired Dynamite just now, which was a simulcast on Max, which apparently it didn't quite start on time right away. But hey, sometimes you're on CP time. But the big thing there is that they finally have a place for their archive, because like we're going on a little over 5 years now of AEW, and so like I think as of right now they have all of their shows from that 2019 year. So like the first Double or Nothing, the first Dynamite, all of those shows. I actually, if y'all were on Blue Sky, like I was actually skeeting all over the place talking about that first show, because I watched it I watched it back for the first time. It's amazing how much the energy has changed from that point to now. Because like even like today is actually the anniversary of when AEW was very first announced for the first time, back when the Elite were still over in New Japan. And like again, like so much from that period, it's like if you were able to bottle up that energy and optimism from that period, you'd be able to carry AEW at a much more competitive position than they are right now. Because like people don't even realize like their highest rated episode of Dynamite was their very first episode. They have not passed that point yet. And and like you go back and watch that episode, I think they had Cody back when he was still being cheered in AEW against Sammy Guevara. They had it was the Bucks and Omega versus Jericho and Santana and Ortiz in the main event. They had Riho versus Nyla Rose to crown the women's champ. I don't know, like I said, I know you really haven't had a great deal of exposure to AEW, but like the crazy thing about that match is that Riho is like a Japanese wrestler that's only like she's like 5'1" and 99 pounds, and not even a tough 99 pounds like Zelina Vega, like the daintiest, most non-threatening wrestler you probably could ever think of. And she's beating up Nyla Rose, who's like a solid like 225, 5'8", and just hulking. And I'm like, y'all really try to just play it in our face and have Riho win that match. I'm like, nothing about that makes sense. Because like even after the match, Nyla Rose powerbombed a dude after the match. I'm like, you had her powerbomb a dude, but she lost to this tiny ass chick. Like,
yep, I see
like
her.
make that make sense. Nothing about that makes sense. But like we should have seen the red flags even then, because I'm like, of course, like back then, Kenny Omega had a bit more of a hands-on role as far as the creative with the women's division. And I'm like, you should never touch the women's division ever again, like just off of that match alone. Because like he tried to make Riho a thing, and that just was never going to happen. But yeah, again, like for those of y'all who have access, again, I'm going to circle back to what I said this early in the show. Everything ain't going to be available right away. Slow down, let things cook. It's all coming. Just calm your tits. It's all coming. But yeah, it was a nice trip down memory lane, because yeah, like to see like where things started with Cody, and to see it where things were at the end, where they were just booing the absolute shit out of him, just because, even though there was probably a lot of stuff going on backstage that they really shouldn't have known about. But yeah, like there was a point in time where like they were cheering Cody. Of course, why did like especially like if you watch that entrance now compared to like what they do for him in WWE with the same song, I'm like, y'all missed so much opportunity with that song. It makes no sense. I'm like, y'all never even thought to do the whoa, like they weren't sitting on to that at all. So yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, if y'all do have it, definitely check out that show. Check out the that first Double or Nothing. Like that was a really good show. And
so moving forward, all of their pay-per-views will be on Max now.
Yes. Pay-per-views will be on Max. Collision and Dynamite will be simulcast. Rest in peace to the Rampage finally. And like I said, I
do I need to get Max now? That sucks.
I mean, if you already got the stick, then you're good. But of course, you know, obviously, I think if you want to do the legal route, then yeah, go ahead and subscribe to Max.
Thank you for that solid advice. Oh, all right. Well, anything else?
Again, the kid in me absolutely loves Saturday Night's Main Event. Like, I think that those 2 hours flew by, and again, you might not want to use Jesse for like, you know, those interviews and everything, but like in the booth, like use him for the main event. Man's still got his fastball. That shit was fucking cooking. And like it's one of the rare times when the 3-man boots actually worked. It actually worked out pretty well. So again, I'm glad that they finally got him back in the fold in some shape or form, and we'll see what comes from here. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, let people know where they can find you.
You can find moi on Twitter, somehow still at Greggo_82. You can find me on Blue Sky at FTC Greggo, at all the abbreviations for Blue Sky. I ain't going through all that. Just if you search FTC Greggo, you'll find me. Also on the mothership, you can find me at FTC UTD. Back on the Bird Box, you can find me at FTC UTD on Instagram and TikTok. And I don't know how many other accounts that we have at this point, but I'm pretty sure if you get us at least on those, you'll be all right.
Yeah. Crunk Chocolate, Shades of Blue and W. Find us on the social medias.
YFWP.
YFWP Podcast. Yeah, like all that.
Like it says right here.
Yeah, right there.
It says right here.
We try to keep the brand, consistent on them.
You can find all of the Shades of Blue 11 teen shows and all that jazz. I do have a compromise for you before we go, because right now Manchester as a whole kind of sucks. How about we do this? We'll start winning if y'all keep losing. There we go.
Well, I mean, since we are the last team in Manchester to win, I think you should just continue losing and we'll start winning again.
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Oh, man. Well, say the thing, Greggo.
This is your favorite wrestling podcast. I am Greggo. This is Crunch Chocolate. And we'll see you soon. If you can't be good, be bad.
Be bad, baby.